Hi everyone, Amy here with Amy Swears, and I have a fun shaped birthday card to share with you. And as a bonus, I got to use some pattern paper. So I recently acquired this gorgeous die set from Paper Rose. I just missed the name of it. Maybe you saw it. But anyway, I will link it in the video description box below. And I'm going to make a card with this shape, and I'm going to use a couple other components from my crafty stash, and here are a couple photos to show you the direction that we're headed. So I'm on a little bit of a kick with shaped cards, and this is no exception. So I'm going to dive right in here and get to playing with this new little nested set here, and I'm going to use the biggest one to cut out my actual card base, and then I'll use the next size down for that pattern paper layer. Now as I'm looking at this, I probably could have just slightly kicked that off the edge, and it would have been fine without another layer. But typically when you're going to do this, in this case it's a top fold A2 size card base, but I'm pushing up the top cutting edge up slightly so that it does not cut through the fold. You want to keep the fold. That's how you keep the actual card base connected. So in this case, because it's so flat on the top, I probably could have just let it be and not felt the need to kind of add another layer, which you're going to see me do in a moment, because it still basically kept that shape just fine. But if you have something else like a heart where you don't really want an edge cut off of it, then this is where you come in and do what I'm doing here. So you cut it again with the same size as the base, and then you'll have the full panel to attach to the front of the card base. Now here I have this cute pattern paper set. This was a freebie from a recent scrapbook order, and I thought, I'm going to use some of this because, I already have a ton of it. Now I have more. I'm guessing you guys can relate to this dilemma. But anyway, I picked a cute one with little smiley faces on it, and I probably wouldn't use that big sentiment there on the front anyway, so I didn't feel weird about cutting into that. And I'm going to use the second size and cut that out through my die cutting machine off screen just to create a nice little kind of colored pattern paper background for my card, but it's still leaving that nice white crisp border, which I love. It gives the eye a safe place to land and to rest from the busy background. So that's my jam. I like white space. So here I'm going to attach all these pieces together. I have the card base, I have the other panel, which may or may not have been necessary, and then also this pattern paper piece. Now I'm going to shop my critter book. I have a sentiment book, I have a critter book, and now I even have a the sentiment strip book. So got a lot of it ready to go, folks. I got a lot batched and on hand, and that's the way I like to craft, because I don't want to slow down and do one of the steps. And I know some people enjoy that part of the process. I'm just admittedly a little bit too impatient. So I want to produce, I want to get it done. So this is my solution to that, is just to have a lot of these components ready. And hey, maybe I feel like coloring and, stamping and coloring in some critters when I'm watching a movie, but I don't feel like making cards. So that's where I can use that opportunity to be around my crafty stuff and kind of fill up this book, but not necessarily feel like I need to sit down and crank out a bunch of cards. So there you just saw, that was my sentiment labels or sentiment strip book, and I have this happy birthday that looks like one of those label makers. I forget what they're called. I actually have one. I can't even think of the name of it, but anyway, it's a stamp that looks like a label, and I'm just trimming to leave a white edge around it, and that will be my sentiment for the front of the card. Now here I may have lied a little bit about all the white space. It was a little bit too white, so I want to come in with a little bit of yellow just in the two corners, just to kind of fade it off and add a little bit of yellow to match the yellow of the little smiley faces. But still, overall, plenty of white space. And it ties in the white with the little cute unicorn and the yellow with the smiley faces. So I have all the little parts attached. I actually popped up the unicorn and the sentiment strip. Now I'm a picture of Grace stamping my sequins everywhere. But anyway, I popped those up with some foam tape, and then I'm going to lay down these little iridescent white sequins that are all stuck together for some reason, all over the front of this little shaped card. So I'll do 3 on one side, 2 on the other, because I like to work in odd numbers. And that's going to finish the design. So super easy. I hope it's going to bring a smile to the recipient. And yeah, I got to use some cute critter stamps, some pattern paper, and make a fun shape card. So this will fit in an A2 size envelope, no problem, and it'll ship just fine. So thank you so much for spending time with me today. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please hit the thumbs up and consider subscribing. And I'll link all the products in the video description box below. Thanks for watching. Bye.